Hello everyone and welcome to this week's Disney News and Reviews. I'm File91e. I just want to wish all my friends and subscribers out there a happy Valentine's Day. I hope you guys had a good one. So from me to you, happy Valentine's Day. I'm sure I told you this before, but me and my friend Cornshack have started a new collaboration where we review professional wrestling themes. Me and my friend Cornshack, we're big into professional wrestling. We like to watch it. You know, if you don't like it, that's fine. Just don't hate on me for liking it. But mainly, we like our wrestling themes. He has 2,000 of them on his computer from all different types of places, and we review and rate them. And it's actually pretty funny because I hold nothing back. It's it's more PG-13, whereas this is more G-rated. So check that out. It's Wrestle Theme Reviews. It's on YouTube, so check that out if you're into professional wrestling. Okay, without any further ado, let's get right to the news. Not a whole lot of news this week. The beverage prices have increased in Disney World. The bottled water is going from $2 to $2.50, and apparently soft drinks have increased by a dime across the board. So a Coke that was once $2.39 is now $2.49. So just keep that in mind when you're going down, and if you're budgeting things, just keep that in mind. The American Idol Experience had its world premiere on Valentine's Day. Its grand opening. It's actually pretty cool. From what I hear from all the people that have been there, the stadium and the arena looks nice. So when you're down there, give that a look. And the Liberty Square Riverboat will be closed for refurbishment February 19th through the 28th. So just keep that in mind when you're down there. Like I said, not a whole lot of news this week. So let's just I get to the reviews. I got a request to review Test Track, and I will review that after I do a random review. So let's see what we got. Got the unofficial guide to Disney World. Check that out. Okay, the Tomorrowland Indy Speedway is a ride in which you drive cars around a set track. The wait can be pretty long, depending on where you go, but they do have multiple tracks running usually, and they're like go-karts, but you can't swerve in and out because you're on a track. I do agree with what they say about this. It is pretty boring for adults because considering we drive everywhere, but it can be fun because there's really not too much else to it. I mean, this is one of the older attractions that was made, but kids like it because they get to push the pedals, and no matter what, they're going to keep going on track. And it can induce some motion sickness for adults because kids keep constantly going back and forth, and it might get a little sickening. But you do get a good ride out of it. Maybe about a 5 to 10 minute ride, depending on how fast you go and whatnot. And you always got to watch out for people ahead and behind you. So it's fun. It is what it is. I enjoyed it. But then again, I only get on it every so often if the line's not really long. But the line is long just because people see it and they, ooh, let's get on it, and then they feel a little disappointed. But it is what it is for for that type of ride. It's the same as any other amusement park that you've ever been to. The scenery is nice, but it still is just a basic ride. And it is kind of funny watching kids crash and bump into each other. It's kind of funny. But yeah, the Tomorrowland Indy Speedway, I'm going to give a 2. It's not something you really have to hit. It's not really even average in my opinion. Kids will like it, but adults pretty much won't. You should avoid it if you want to. But if the line's short, hop on it. You get a thrill out of it a little bit. But it can induce some motion sickness, so just be aware of that. And kids, should ride with an adult because you don't want them banging back and forth and getting whiplash and whatnot, because some of them can barely even reach the pedals. So yeah, the Tomorrowland Indy Speedway, 2 stars. Okay, now to the requested ride, Test Track. What they say it is, an automobile test track simulator ride, super headliner. to go the first 30 minutes the park is open just before closing, or use a fast pass, which I recommend you do. 40 inches height minimum, and not to be missed, what they say. They give it a 3.5 stars. I like Test Track. It is a really great ride. I've been on it a couple times. My brother was unfortunate in not getting on it with me. I actually had the experience of using the single rider line for this. So this is my experience. I went on Test Track using the single rider line. I went in, it was just me, and I went on a single rider line, which you basically use to fill in seats in case there's because there's 4 seats and 3 rows, or no, 2 rows I believe, and in case a family of 3 pops in, you get to fill up that empty seat. So it's a full ride each time. And Test Track is a great ride. The wait is actually a fun wait when you get into the actual facility, because there's all kinds of different testing being done on windshields and tires and whatnot. It's like motorized robots testing it. It's actually a pretty cool thing. Now after you get on the ride, you're told that you're part of the test, and you have to rate your experience and whatnot. Now the guy testing it is going to take you through a whole bunch of different things that cars normally go through: swerving, dealing with sliding, heat, cold, whatever. And that's what you do. You go through these tests, and obviously they're really staged and whatnot. But it's a fun ride. You can get some motion sickness from it because you're jerked back and forth. It's pretty much the closest thing that there is to a roller coaster there, because you do go pretty fast and you swerve and go around, but there are no loop-de-loops or anything like that, so don't worry about that. Occasionally you fail test, and therefore you got to redo it to pass it. The heat and cold thing is pretty simple. You're put under some heat lamps, and then you go into a room with air conditioners. It's really nothing special. But the main part of the ride that everybody sees is the speed test, and you're launched up to 60 miles an hour. You go around this this curvature, and it's that's pretty much the end of the ride. But it is fun. I can't really describing it really doesn't do it justice, because you're like, oh, you're just being a test dummy, and that's essentially what it is. But the ride itself is actually very fun. I actually will give this ride, I will give Test Track 4 stars. I want to give it 4 stars for the simple fact that I enjoyed it, but it's not quite on the caliber of some of the other 5-star rides there. Like Soarin' is unbelievable. You have to get on that. You can miss Test Track, but I don't recommend that you do. It's one of those ones you really should hit, and the wait is incredibly long, so use the fast pass. You can get motion sickness, and kids might get a little afraid because you are in the dark sometimes, and there is loud noises and whatnot. But it's all cool. But Test Track is definitely a ride that you should try and hit, and I guarantee that you will enjoy. I don't really have any footage from it because when I went down, my camera died and whatnot, so I apologize for just having some pictures. But other than that, I didn't have my camera with me, so I'm sorry. But Test Track, 4 stars. Alright, that about wraps up this week's Disney News and Reviews. It was an automobile themed week. It was kind of fitting because you got the Daytona 500 coming up today, Sunday. And if you're into NASCAR or anything like that, I'm sure pretty much, the people, you'll be watching that. I know I will. I like NASCAR. I get a kick out of it every now and then. Yeah, so check out Russell Themes and Reviews, and all the information sites that I get my info from: allears.net, touringplans.com, or just which touringplans.com actually makes this book, The Unofficial Guide to Disney World. So check that out. Buy the book. It's a great resource if you're going down to Disney or just are researching stuff. Or just go to DisneyWorld.com. They just relaunched their site, and it's really good. It's a really well done. So give that a check out. And yeah, so happy Valentine's Day to everybody. And I will see you all next week on this show, the Disney News and Reviews. So I'm File91e, and I'll see you later.